Welcome to the Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Colin Leddy with Plymouth State Broadcasting. Joined with me is head baseball coach Clay Jenkins. Thanks for coming on, Clay.
Thanks for having me.
The baseball team comes in at 9-9 and 2-2 in conference, and you guys are coming off a tough 10-13 loss against powerhouse in the LEC the last couple of years, Southern Maine. What are the takeaways from that game?
Yeah, takeaways are that our lineup when clicking is scoring a lot of runs without getting a ton of hits, and that's sort of how it was designed. And then the games where we do get hits, we score even more runs combined with our aggressive approach. So we had 10 runs. I think we only had 7 or 8 hits, which again goes to show you our aggressive base running and our offensive philosophy is kind of clicking. But takeaways were that we just need to throw more strikes consistently as pitchers. We need to make the plays behind the pitchers. It was sort of a unique day against Southern Maine. It was cold and windy, and once your pitchers are throwing balls, then you can't be expecting your defense to be making the plays behind them after they've been standing around in the cold wind for 10 minutes. So we were sort of a product of the combination of the weather and not throwing strikes that directly affected our defense, and that's sort of where the 2 big innings that we gave up came from. But in general, our offensive approach is really clicking right now, and we're looking forward to the next conference games this weekend.
Yeah, obviously there's no moral victories, but you have to like the competitiveness in a game like that against a great team like Southern Maine.
Yeah, absolutely. We felt like we hung our own and held our own, and if we kind of did 1 or 2 more things a little bit differently, then we feel like we could have beat them. So yeah, we're confident going into playing them. I think we play them 2 weekends from now.
Absolutely, this should be a good game. And you guys have had some solid wins down in Florida. You guys beat number 21 Johns Hopkins. You guys have been, having a pretty good year so far. So, what's the difference between this year and last year?
Yeah, last year I think the wins that we got last year, especially during this stretch and certainly late in Florida, the wins that we got last year were sort of like fake. We sort of stole them from the other team's mistakes, basically. This year we're earning the wins that we have, and even the losses we feel like we can make good, solid adjustments to turn those into wins. Right now we're on a little bit of a down stretch, but we played some really tough teams here in the last 4 games, and we really feel like this year the total mentality and our emotional stability is way different, and we're able to make adjustments with a faster pace, more aggressive lineup, and that athleticism I think is giving us a lot more confidence this year than we had at this time last year.
Definitely, you guys are definitely improving from last year, and there's 2 guys I just wanted to talk about real quick. One is Ryan Richards, 2nd in the league in batting and 1st in the league in stolen bases. So what's his impact been for you guys?
Yeah, I mean Ryan's like a different type of player. He's the type of guy where you look at and visually he's a little unconventional. He's shorter and doesn't do things with the standard fundamentals that you might expect to see from a player who has his type of numbers. But he is arguably one of the best Division III players in the nation overall. Just the way that he plays defense. He can do anything at the plate. He never strikes out. He has 4 strikeouts this year. 3 of them were on pitches that were so far out the zone and the game was lopsided one way or the other. The umpire had opened the zone and Ryan just couldn't possibly swing at them. The other one was the other day when he came back against Southern Maine and said that was a really nasty pitch that he struck out on. But so the well-roundedness of Ryan is just unbelievable, and the plays he makes at second base, especially coming from last year where one of our major problems was infield defense, he's been a staple to sort of harness that and rein that defense in for us. So his well-roundedness is just unbelievable right now, and he's by far our most impactful player every day.
Yeah, he's definitely been having a great year, one of the tops in the LEC. And another guy, one of your pitchers, Dylan Gate, he's top 10 in strikeouts and ERA right now. So, talk about his steadiness and the ability to, kind of right the ship all season.
Yeah, Dylan's made some really good adjustments as he's gone, not only through this year, but from last year. He had some injuries in the offseason, and he's worked really, really hard physically to get himself back in physical shape. But more importantly, mentally, he's stronger than he's ever been. He's reined in his emotional ups and downs that he's gone through, and sort of harness those into making more effective pitches. And he's the exact type of pitcher that we need right now, a guy who's going to pound the strike zone when he needs to, and throw 3 or 4 pitches for strikes. And against high caliber offenses, that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, you're definitely going to need him down the stretch. And your next 3 games are coming against Salem, Riviera, and Eastern Connecticut. So what are the keys to get some wins there?
Yeah, we just need to play overall well-rounded baseball. We're the type of team where if we play good defense, we throw strikes, and we implement our offensive approach, we really feel we can beat anybody in the nation. And if we don't do any 1 or 2 of those 3 things, we can certainly lose to anyone in the nation.
Absolutely. And you talk about the nation. You guys are tops in the league in stolen bases in the nation. So what's the philosophy and reason behind that?
Yeah, so we have a really, really athletic group this year. So we're really training hard and teaching our guys things to look for when stealing bases. When they spot one or two of those things, then we give them the freedom to make that decision on their own. And so far, it's worked out really well for us. We rein our guys in during certain times where we have signs for them to do certain things and sometimes not to steal specifically. But in general, we kind of let our guys loose to do what we teach them to do, and we don't discipline them until they've done it the way that we didn't want them to do it. So if they have success or failure the way that we teach them to do it, then it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they love the freedom, and it's definitely paying off, obviously. And I want to thank you for coming on, Coach. This has been Colin Leddy with PSU Broadcasting on the Coach's Corner. Have a great day, Panther Nation.